How would you, as an Agile Scrum Master, like to influence the way your team evolves into a self-organizing team? You can do that. I'm fixing to show you how. Hello, my name is Tim McDermott, and I'm a Senior IT Project Manager, and I live in the beautiful city of Tampa Bay. And it's a beautiful city with a lot of interesting locations. And today I'm standing right behind me. There is the St. Paul's Church. It's an old church, over 100 years old, and it's a very old architecture, so I like the old architecture. And that's why I'm here, to take a look at it. Now, your team is a self-organizing team, but they don't come fully formed as a self-organizing team. You have to help them evolve into one. So it's an evolutionary process. It's iterative. It's like Scrum itself. It's an Agile. It's an iterative process. How can you help influence that evolution into a self-organizing team? Well, evolution is a process, and so a variation happens, and then that variation gets tested. It's for various reasons, and select those that survive, carry on, and those that don't survive, die out. So it's a process of variation happens first, then selection, like natural selection, and then retention. They have to stay, they have to survive for it to carry on. So for this evolution of your team to occur, first they have to try something different. It has to be tested, and if it survives, it carries on. How do you influence that? Well, there's the environment that your team is in helps to influence it. What business is the organization in? Your team is going to evolve to service the needs of that organization that controls it. How innovative, or the other end is how risk adverse, because the two are kind of opposite ends. Those influence the team and how it evolves. So encourage them to do whatever you can to get them into an innovative type atmosphere, or an atmosphere that values innovation, if that's what you want your team to be. Reduce the amount of risk, increase the amount of risk tolerance, so that the team can be more innovative, and that will help influence them to become more innovative. You can control their evolution through the project intake rate. If the slower the rate, the more time they have to try to be innovative, etc. But if they don't have much time to innovate, then they're just going to do whatever they need to do to get the job done quickly. Now, another way to influence the evolution is to define what ideas survive and what ideas fail. Give them a criteria that they can use to select the proper ideas. When a new team charters, you usually give them the challenge of writing a value statement, and then that value statement can be used to help them select the right ideas, the right approaches to things. So define performance in that team charter with a good value statement. Another thing is to introduce various selection systems. We talked about the selection criteria just then, but the different systems that they use to select what survives and what doesn't. Be careful about how you choose those. You want them to select the desirable ideas for their behavior and accelerate the rate of evolution. Managers need to introduce vicarious, quick selection system. So the selection system needs to be quick, so that it can be run speedily and easily. So it's very easy to determine which ideas will survive and which will not survive. And another thing, is when they're in this process, they need to be energized. The team needs the energy. Energy fuels work. It fuels the team. So, in one way to energize them is to give them some challenges. Challenges influence the team greatly. They focus the team greatly. So introduce challenges that help them understand what you're trying to do. Perhaps some team exercises as challenges, like designing what was the ideal if this project gets done and it receives a review in the press, what would that review look like? Have them write that. If this was a software development project, design the box that this project's going to be delivered in. That'll be a challenge to them and it'll influence them, etc. So give them some interesting challenges and they'll help keep them energized and help them understand what the project's all about. And they'll evolve towards that goal. Thank you all very much. And so I'm standing in front of a church. Why? Think about that. Churches preach what? They preach creation, not evolution. So that's the tie-in to the location and to the presentation. I hope you take that with humor. It's not meant to be serious. If you like the video, then click on like. If you won't, please share the video. If you think it provides value to you, it might provide value to somebody else. If you have any questions, put your questions in the comments, and have a nice day.